We're gonna go ahead and get this started. Are you guys in the back? You guys got sound again? You guys are back? Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up Coach Narduzzi. Just come on up right here, Coach, and we'll go ahead and get you. We're gonna let the players go ahead and sit and rest, and they can answer questions down there. Okay. All right. So you can go ahead and start with an opening statement, and then we'll go open it for questions.
Okay. What a football game. First off, just want to thank everybody, Bernie, everybody with the Sun Bowl. It's been an outstanding week, as I said in the presser the other day. The hospitality, just the people. I mean, they were, it's first class bowl game here. First class stage out there at the end of the game, and again, it was a first class job by our football team pulling that one out. We talked about going out there. We were down a few guys and just finding a way to win a football game. Just get it done. GID, get it done one way or another. And our guys found a way to get it done. And I couldn't be more proud of them. As I told them in the locker room after the game, I love this football team. 9-win season. Those are hard to come by. We gave probably 3 or 4 games away during the season, and it was a great way to finish for our kids. So I'll open it up for questions.
Coach, you go down 28-14 off a pick 6, and then you guys go and score 20 unanswered points up until the very end. What does that say about your team and the character that they showed?
You know what? Kids didn't flinch. I mean, besides those 20 points, and we throw a pick 6. Yeah. Besides all that, I mean, 34 seconds left, and what Nick did that drive. I mean, you just talk about leadership, and I talked earlier, leadership-wise. Nick took it, and we went down the field, and that'll go down as one of the best 2-minute drives. 34 seconds, no timeouts, and you go down and kick a field goal. Outstanding job.
Coach, you're up by 3. You're going for it on 4th and down inside the 5-yard line, and then all of a sudden it's a false start. You settle for the field goal. You go up by 6. Perhaps was that false start a blessing in disguise?
I don't know. I felt like either way, whether we the field goal. I guess maybe in the end you'd say it's a good idea. Maybe it was good that we false started, but we were hoping to score a touchdown there, so maybe it wouldn't matter at the end. I know Nick was mad when we couldn't get to run that play, and we figured if we didn't get it, they were going to have to go 95. We didn't think they could do it on us, and maybe a blessing. We were lucky.
Pat, 2 games into the season, your kicker over here, he missed a couple of rough ones, and you even admitted that it played a role in the loss to Tennessee. Can you talk about the growth that you've seen him have over this season, only missing, I believe, 1 kick in ACC play and going 5 for 5 today in a bowl game?
Yeah, I mean, he's been outstanding all year. I mean, we saw it through camp. I mean, he was the guy really through spring ball, and you talk about adversity in somebody that got beat out a year ago by a walk-on, and we're always going to just play the best players. But he came back and took the job over. Not only took it over, he's the MVP specialist today, and to go out with 5 field goals, and Byron and Cam, those the snap, the hold, and obviously the kick are always special. But outstanding job by him, just sticking with it, and couldn't be more proud of him.
Just talk about how your team overcame adversity, not just in this game, but all year. I mean, especially this game.
Yeah, it's 5 wins in a row to finish the season. We talk about adversity a ton. A lot. And we try to develop, how we're going to respond during camp in August. These guys will tell you. I mean, we talk about how how we deal with adversity and the pressures of this game of football. And again, I think that just shows up when you talk about character and what our guys know how to do, and they never flinch. I mean, I can't think of a time they've ever flinched. That's coaching, and that's guys, our players believing.
Now, did you maybe second guess yourself using those back-to-back timeouts?
I didn't second guess myself. I didn't want to use that, but we had, I'd rather call another timeout than play with 10 guys on defense. We had 10 guys. We communicated personnel out of the field, and somebody did here. So the timeout was a little bit more valuable right then, instead of playing with 10 guys on defense.
Pat, no Servassier today, but you still got really solid production from all 3 of your linebackers and even some of the reserves. Just talk about their efforts, and what you saw, especially from Bengali. It was probably the best game he had all year.
Yeah, those guys. you look at where Bengali was in the opener against West Virginia, and where he came after 13 games, and Tyler Wiltz and Shane Simon. We got a great group of linebackers out there, and Solomon DeShields. That guy keeps getting better every day. I can't say enough about him. He had a great fumble recovery on that one kickoff in the 4th quarter, or whatever quarter that was. I guess it was the 4th. So our linebackers have come a long way. We got some dudes in there that can play, and without Servassier, we still were able to get it done.
that play Bengali picked off, was that something that UCLA showed on tape? Was that just right positioning? Can you walk us through that?
I can't walk you through that. I wish I could walk you through it. He picked it off, and I wish he would have scored. But it was a great play by him. We'll look at the tape and tell exactly what happened.
Were you surprised at all to see them switch quarterbacks in the second half?
I mean, the guy threw 3 picks. I mean, we caught 3 picks. He threw three nice ones to us. So not surprised at all. We thought he was a good runner, and didn't know if he could hurt us with the pass. And he actually, had a nice throw. He had 2 really nice throws down the field, and then I think their 3rd touchdown they got, was a busted coverage where we didn't have a guy in the middle of the field. Nobody was there. Eric Howell was expecting coverage, so it certainly wasn't on Eric at all. He looked like he was a guy, but he was expecting a guy in the middle of the field.
Coach, talking about quarterbacks, what do you think of yours performance today, considering he threw that pick and then came back from it, and he usually doesn't stop you guys?
He's a tough dude, and our football team believes in him. We said that back in the summer, spring ball. He's a great competitor. He's a leader. He can beat you with his feet, which we hadn't had all year. I mean, he made some great plays. That one quarterback draw was a gigantic play that he had. On top of all the rest of the times he scrambled, stepped up in the pocket, and threw the football. He had a cheap shot at one time, Nick. After a touchdown pass above means, never got called. There was some interesting stuff out there.
Are you going to allow yourself to think what might have happened if Nick had played more this year?
No, we're not going to look backwards. We look forward, and who knows.
Coach, you say a lot of next man up in this game. Obviously, a lot of players getting an opportunity to play and really show their talents here in this game. What can you say about those players that stepped up in those roles today?
Yeah, we talked about just our youth playing with confidence and going out and getting it done, and we'll look at the tape and see. I mean, I think Dayon Hayes played like he is, and he's still a baby, and we'll see. I mean, one of those young guys wasn't in the middle of the field on one of those touchdowns, so he'll live and learn by that. And but we'll look at the videotape and see exactly. But you go out there with a bunch of new guys playing on defense, especially, and come out and beat the number 18 team in the country. And we better finish in the top 25. EJ, where's EJ at?
Right here.
Okay, can get it done. But Jerry, I think you got to vote, don't you?
Your friend Johnny does.
Okay, Johnny. Okay, I'll let you get on him there.
I will.
But you knock out the number 18 team in the country with a lot of guys down. It's tribute to our football team.
Pat, you mentioned all the young guys. I mean, you look at what Rodney did today. You look at what Ben did today. You look at what all the guys on defense did, and most of them will probably be back. How excited does their efforts from today get you for next year?
Well, it's a springboard. I mean, you think about this is we were going to have to live with it, win or lose. For all January, February, March, all the way through that, and it's certainly better to go into winter condition. Coach Stack, we already started talking about winter condition, what he's got going and planned. So he's ready to go for you young guys, so it's going to be fun.
Last question for Coach.
Pat, all season long, you talked about Rodney and how he's kind of the Robin, Izzy's Batman, if you will, and he's able to take on starter workload. He's able to do all this. How much of a validation point was today for a guy like Rodney?
We knew all along. Rodney knew all along what kind of football player he was, and again, if he doesn't get hurt in the opener, who knows? It may be him. Opting out and going to the NFL. That's just the way it is. We know Rodney's really good. Our offensive line, you always got to give credit to those guys and the tight ends and even those receivers blocking down the field. I mean, it's the running back can't. We've seen that before. Running back can't do it all by himself. I don't care who's back there. But Rodney's a great football player. We knew that. I didn't have any fear at all with him being the guy.
Thank you, Coach. You can hang out here with the players. You can go ahead and go on. We got Rodney Hamlin over there, MVP. We got Nick Patty and also Ben Sauls, who is a place kicker and won the Special Teams Award. I'll open it up for questions for these gentlemen. Gentlemen, if you can grab the microphone when they're presented to you, okay?
Ben, just walk through that mental process, getting out there for that final kick and eventually executing it.
I think a lot of it has to do with maturity. Looking back a year ago today, I got my first start against New Hampshire. Missed my first 2 extra points. Flip it a year from then, and we're hitting game winners and going 5 for 5. So I think a lot of it has to do with maturity. When you talk about the mental game, it's all about you and yourself. There, it's you are what you tell yourself. And at the end of the day, I really think I'm a decent kicker. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's no different than kicking an extra point. It's the same thing over and over again. It's the repetitiveness. So I'm just glad that the snap was there, the hold was there, and the line held because they're awesome. So without them, I wouldn't be here.
How much was a factor? How much was the wind a factor in that?
Well, wind is tricky, especially when you play in Heinz Field, and that was the big reason why I came to Pittsburgh, because if you can kick in Heinz Field, you can kick anywhere. So just kicking in Heinz all the time, that boosts my confidence, and the key is to embrace the wind. If you try and fight it, it's going to fight you, and it's probably going to win. So embrace the wind and see what happens.
Nick, for your time here, a majority of it, you were backing up a guy who's now playing in the NFL. When he leaves, it looks like it's going to be your turn. They bring in someone else. And in today's college football, a lot of guys just hit the portal and say to hell with it and move on. You stuck around. It didn't work out with you getting the starting job, but it kind of paid off today. Can you just take me through your entire journey here at Pitt and how good this final win feels, sticking around and ending on a high note as a Panther?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the start, coming in, that summer, everyone knew that Kenny was the guy. The conversation was, all right, he'll be out in 3 years, how well he's playing, and I'll take over then. Obviously, it doesn't go like that. But the relationships that I built here. I never thought about leaving. Even when Kenny was gone, we brought Keaton in. I just had all the confidence in the world in myself. Obviously, it didn't go my way. But, like you said, just stepping up today, big moment today, it was great to get a win.
How do you explain being pretty sharp today after you first started more than 3 years, right?
Yeah.
How did you feel out there, being in charge for the first time in 3.5 years?
Comfortable. Sig put a great game plan together. We go through it, throughout the week, and he's like, "Really? Is there anything you don't like?" And I liked everything. I was comfortable with everything. And I just had so much confidence in our offense, everything that we did to prepare for this game. And I think we were all just excited, to get this opportunity. You hear a lot about the Pac-12, but you never play it. So I think we stepped up today, and it was a good win.
That last scramble was the key. What happened? What did you see there?
We called a similar play that we've been running, throughout the game. And I stepped up, I had Bub on and in, and the backer just kept sinking. So I was thinking in my head, you got to get a first down because the clock's going to be running. So I think I got hit short, and I had the time clock in my head. I'm like, oh, I'm probably at like 8-9 yards here. So I got to break the tackle. Broke the tackle, looked up, had it by a yard, and knew I had to get on the ball to clock it.
Nick, you missed a couple of plays, and toward the end of the first half there, was anything going through your mind about last year's bowl game and having to miss out? I mean, what happened there, and how bad did you want to get back on the field once you got banged up?
No, I knew I was fine. I kind of hit my head on the ground, and when I came up, I wasn't dizzy or anything, but you just see so much in the NFL and in college. I honestly just wanted to make sure I was good, give myself a second on the ground, and I saw the guys running out, our training staff running out. So I was like, okay, I'll take a play. I know I'm fine, but I just want to, make sure. And checked in the tent, told the doctors I'm good the whole time that they were doing the whole concussion thing, and just hopped back out there.
When you saw Nate complete that pass, did you think, oh man, I'm not getting back out there?
No, I have, I know how good Nate is. I have a lot of confidence in Nate, but no, I was just trying to get back on the field. I was a better runner myself before they even said anything. So,
What's going through your mind with 34 seconds left?
I mean, just give Ben a chance. Pre-game, I'm sitting there and he's kicking the ball from the 50 and making it by like 6-7 yards. So I'm like, all right, if I get it to the 40, I think the line that we had was the 40. Just give him time to make it. I was not even going to watch the kick because I knew that, he was going to make it. I had so much confidence in him. But yeah, just give him a chance.
What's next for you, Nick?
I don't know. Celebrate this win, celebrate tonight, and then figure it out.
Have you thought about your future at all?
Yeah, I have. It's so tough. You think you're done. You feel like you're done, and then a win like this makes it tough. But, it's something to think about. I got time to think about it, so.
Rodney, what was having this guy in the huddle like today? I mean, you've had a couple of quarterbacks run your offense throughout games this season. How does he compose the huddle, especially in that 2-minute drill in the end?
Nick's a good leader or whatever. We got a good relationship on and off the field, so when he's in the huddle, I feel comfortable.
Ronnie, after so many games of Izzy, essentially winning an ACC rushing title, you got to be the guy today. You got to take on, Izzy's workload per se. I mean, to have this opportunity then to go out and play the way you did, I mean, how much validation may it bring, or just how does it feel in a general sense that you got to get this opportunity and do it?
I mean, it felt good. I stayed patient. I just want to thank Coach Deuce, Coach Sig, and Coach Powell for believing me and letting me step up today, help my team get the win.
Rodney, what's this say about your team's depth, where you guys have guys that can stay patient, like Nick, like you, like so many players on defense, where when their opportunity comes, they're able to step up and win big games like today?
I can say that's a scary side for everybody, because I know when all us on the field, it's going to be scary. We're going to do a lot of great things.
Rodney, when your defense is able to create 4 turnovers and get you guys the ball back 4 times, does that make things more exciting? Does that add a little bit more juice to the offense?
Yeah, that pump us up. If they get a stop, we got to go score. We got to execute every time.
Ronnie, it seemed like team camaraderie was just up all week long, even at practice to now. What was that like for you, again, getting the win and doing it with your team?
It felt good. I just want to go and celebrate with my team now. But it was good. It felt good the whole game.
Any more questions?
Yes, Nick, you were here when, I believe your first year here, Pitt had a losing season, is that correct?
We were the first 7-7 team ever.
Oh, okay, 7-7. Okay, so but you were here to see all the highs and lows. Now to end your time at Pitt, back-to-back 9-win seasons, something this program hasn't done in over a decade. To have 20 wins in a 2-year span, something they haven't done since the 80s. I mean, how good does it feel to see this thing starting to build the right way?
I think it's a tribute to the coaches. It's the reason why I committed to Pitt. I knew that it would be like this. I knew that, we'd catch our stride and we'd get going. That 7-7 season, we were at the Sun Bowl. So it's cool to reminisce with some of the guys. We played Stanford that year, so, just go back and see all the changes in our past. So it was great to be here, get a win, and get, like you said, 20 in the last 2 years. It's great.
This one a little bit more fun than a quick lane goal win?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially when you're playing in it, too. So.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Congrats again.